The dew is coming in crazy early tonight. Let's see if we can't just knock out this half pivot right now. Evening, everybody. Welcome to Friday. You got this guy. I think he just sleeps here. Hector and I are rolling, making some pretty good windrows. This farm can produce some alfalfa now, especially when you put a ton of water on it. Baler guys are on the way, so we'll see how far ahead of them we can get. That's not good. Cameron's in Baler right over there. He's in the one we just got back from the dealer today. Ready to go. We took the neighbor's back, we cleaned it all up, blew it off, had it all cleaned up for him to put away. Went and grabbed that one, he went 20 feet and said the header's slipping. What are the odds that something didn't get put back together right, the way they had that thing so disassembled? Fan-friggin-tastic. I don't have the slightest idea what is going on with that bale. It acts like it's out of time. So the whole chute underneath is packed tight, but the plunger is all the way back. He tried to kick it in, nothing's moving. It sounds horrible. So I'm gonna go get the other baler so I can at least start picking up end rows and see what we can get done with one. I don't know. Looking underneath, I see two of the needles hanging, so we already got string to fix. But right there in front of the tire is what we call the stuffer chute. It's that little curved piece that disappears up as I draw in the sky. That is packed solid. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to open the bottom door on that and dig that out with a pry bar. Done that before. But what's still confusing me is what's going haywire internally that's causing the problems. I don't know. It's 8:30 at night. I don't have the capacity to care that much right now. I'm just gonna grab the other one and hope it stays together, because so far this is a big false start. Back to my normal location. The old case 245. So normally this is what I run during haying, but because Bart and I are the only two employees that actually live out here in the country near the farm, I mean the tuna does too, but he's not allowed to operate equipment, so he doesn't count. But because Bart and I are kind of the only two out here lately, I've just been grabbing a rake and going rather than killing time and waiting on the guys from town to get here. Because, I mean, Cameron's everyone is qualified to run the balers, so it's not like it's that big a deal. The biggest thing comes in the next day when it's time to pick them up. You gotta make sure whoever ran that baler has a memory so they can tell you which bales are good and which ones are bad. Good luck, Cam. Okay, Hector and I are going, cruising right along at about 9 on a decent windrow. Moisture is running close to 10%. It's kind of bouncing between about 7 and 13, which is a good sign. That means hopefully we got enough time that we can get all this done. So the far lights over there, Bart and Cameron. Bart shows up, instantly just goes, I'll bet since it hasn't ran for 3 weeks, the pressure is so tight, if we back the pressure off, it'll fire right up. Sure as shit, they backed the pressure off, fired right up. And when he was telling me that, I go, awesome, I thought we were out of time or something is already slipping. They had there is a slip clutch hiding back in there. They had that all ripped apart. And so I was terrified something like that happened. Would you be quiet? I am talking here. And when he said, no, it's none of that, it was just that bale was stuck from sitting for 3 weeks. Did I say that already? And I go, well, as long as he didn't do like the tuna and burn up the PTO, we should be good. That's one of the reasons we don't let the tuna run the tractors anymore. I think it was the last time he tried to bale, basically. He had a bale get stuck like that and burn up the PTO in this tractor. You okay? Oh yeah, We got radios now and everything. Finally, got all the Midlands put in. We got the big 50 watters put in the baler tractors, the smaller 15 watt ones put in the rake tractors. So now it's going to be like silage harvest. I'm pretty sure we're just going to be talking crap to each other all day, every day. So, Cameron and Bart are leaving again. Awesome. Just asked them what the hell was going on. They said something with the stuffer is not moving like it should. So, I don't know if they're going to go even mess with it now or just worry about it tomorrow. Cameron and I are about done here, but we're just doing a check with the radios. Bart and Hector are about a little over a mile that way, where all them little lights are, on the other side of that ridge. And we can talk crystal clear back and forth. That's impressive. I mean, yeah, if you put a good enough antenna on anything, you can make it work that way. But coming from CBs on the trucks and choppers, to have crystal clear communication over a mile, over a hill, that's impressive. 150 bales off of what's probably right around 70 acres total. I'll take it. That is a true first cutting. 11 o'clock, 25 acres oats to go yet tonight. As you can hear the beeping, means it's still too green. So the oats will have to wait until tomorrow evening. On the plus side, that means here it is 11:30. It's time for bed. Catch up with you guys in the morning. Yeah, it's 7:30 in the morning. I'm eating a Hershey bar for breakfast. Couldn't find a Pop-Tart or anything like that, so I found this random Hershey bar. It'll work. Yeah, it's gonna take a while to pick all these up. If I didn't say last night, right around 150. So 6 semi-loads. That'll be fun. Well, based on the fact he's parking the loader there, he ain't done. Oh, my back can't handle another full day in that other loader, so I'm gonna go check some water real quick and then come steal the good loader. It's not the greatest field of corn, but it ain't looking too bad. Got to get that ground back into shape where it hasn't been really farmed productively in a while. This corn's looking quite a bit better. You see the shorter corn down there where the sprinkler got stuck and we missed several days. So the first field I was looking at, I said, we got to get the ground back into good production. It's good ground, but because of the way the water was working here before we got the pivots put up, that end of the farm didn't get farmed near as much as this end. Then we put up the pivot, so the focus went to that. So that just needs some time, you know. It's gonna need some more fertility shoved into the ground, stuff like that. It'll come around. I thought they said this turned on at 6. Must have meant noon. The big deal there is just a weed rack. It's kind of like a whole thing of like chainmail, like they used to wear in medieval times. It's kind of essentially a chainmail type of deal with these slats across it, and it'll just sit there and run, and it catches all the weeds and pulls them out of the ditch. Alright, I got truck drivers. I'm not waiting any longer on a damn loader. Let's go bounce around on this guy. back to the shed. Bart came and took over for the last load and a half, running the loader for me, so I could get this guy going because one of his pivots is waiting on me. I hope, fingers crossed. Yesterday was my last load of corn. Today, no, because we got another 20 acres we're going to plant. I was going to say today could be the last of the feed, but we'll have one more field after today. This is something kind of weird I seen at the last field when I was running the loader. See the hay out there? Does it look kind of gray or off color to you? I think it's spiders. There was 2 or 3 bales when I went to pick them up. The entire top of it was a spider web. Looks cool to me. But just puts that different color out there, and I'm wondering if that's what that is. But as you can see, we got the sprayer loaded. We're spraying. One time around the field is 12 acres, and it's only going to be like 55 total. Get this knocked out, that'll do all the pre-emerge on feed that we have planted now, but I think, like I said a minute ago, we're debating on planting a little bit more. Just take advantage of this water while we have it. Just like that, we shut her back down. Shut the water off. Don't forget that one. Okay, it's right at noon. My Hershey bar for breakfast is worn off. I'll go see what we got for lunch and then figure out what the plan is for after lunch. Oh man, it's been a warm start to the afternoon. Not a whole lot going on. Got a bunch of yard work done. Taking this back to finish some yard work. You know things aren't going well when you need a loader in the yard. But yeah, that's all you've missed so far. So here's the main reason I brought the giant loader. Lawnmower shed the drive belt. Looks like it was in great shape. Goes down underneath there, provides power to both wheels. I thought, well, how? Just take the pallet fork, stick under it, carry it back to the shop. Well, the pallet forks only reach to about here. I guess it helps if I show my legs so you can see where I'm talking. So you got all that sticking out, and it's just enough counterweight to make it want to tip. So that was a waste. Just about got stuck over there. Okay, next question. Can we bale or rake or do something? Right there, nope. I like how I set up the camera and then I go stand off camera. Alright, let's go check another spot. I can feel moisture in there. I think I'm off the damn camera again. Okay. We can rake this in the morning and let it lay. That's the plan. These little bastards are everywhere. Prairie dogs. And then the little ground owl that also takes over. These things are a particular pain this year. They're always trying to show up on this farm or that farm. We can usually get them back under control. This year, they're freaking everywhere. And we've had 2 different guys out working on them, trying to eradicate them, and we can't. There's so damn many. If you don't know much about prairie dogs, they're a burrowing animal. They will literally cut the roots off your crops, create holes for livestock and other wildlife to step in and break their leg. I've seen that happen. And the cherry on top, they're carriers of the plague. Yeah, you heard me right, the plague. And the cities freaking love them. We can go down the conspiracy route of where I've had different people say they've seen trucks show up, vac trucks, and drop off a truckload that they clean up from developing communities in Denver and Springs. So when they go to develop new property and there's prairie dogs, they got to get rid of them. They say vac trucks show up, giant vacuum trucks, you know, with that big hose on the front. They'll suck them out of their burrows and then just come dump them out here on the plains. I have never seen it personally, but I've heard multiple people say they have seen trucks on random county roads. All of a sudden the back end opens and you can see them things take off. I don't know. So I think I said earlier we had water turning on. So sitting here checking. We got 32 PSI going in, 32 PSI going out. So that's how I know the filter's clean. That filter is feeding the pivot right over there. That's the one we were just in. So there's the hay we got to bale. We got corn right here, corn over yonders, and it's out in the hayfield right now. One of the tricky things about this time of year when we have the snow runoff to where we have water rapidly back to back is managing these pivots to try and keep the water out of the hay. And if you ask Blanca, who's been running the swather, we really suck at it. It's hard to keep water from running downhill. I'll just say that. But so we got water here at noon today, so it'll run for the next 48 hours. We got that hay to bale, and we got a hayfield right over there to bale. I think right over there. My screen turns off on me, right over there. We need to get those baled so we can irrigate while we have water here. Notice that sprinkler right there running. That's where we baled last night, and we picked them up this morning. So it's go as quick as you can, but make sure that hay is dry, because one day of delay is not worth a hay fire. You just hope. It's an inexact science, and you just have to really hope you got it right. Well, that's terrifying. Tuna swathing hay on a pivot that is known for very muddy sprinkler tracks. And we'll see what happens. Now that is not bad for a night's work. Almost filled up the first bay over here. This is another shop we're renting. If I've never talked about it before, maybe I haven't. The neighbor that we rented the baler from, that we've now returned it, I think I said that last night, we're renting 2 of his hay sheds that are kind of right here by us to make it really convenient. Where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 landlords, different landlords, 3 of which we have 2 different sets of splits based on the way farms are set up. So that becomes 8 different essential groupings of commodities. So rather than having to weigh every single load as we take it out of the field so that way we can just put it all together, it's nice to have the ability to put their hay in this pile, their hay in this pile, their hay in this pile. So between the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 hay sheds that we're running this year, we're able to spread everything out. It lets air still get into them barns, keep moving air through there, keep them bales from getting hot if there is a hot spot, and lets us keep it organized easier that way, rather than having to sit there and keep track of tickets every single day. We know, okay, this pile is this one, this pile is this one, this pile is this one, and then as we haul it out in November, December, January through next May, we know whose hay is whose that way. For us, that works simpler than scaling it all in now and then scaling it all in again whenever it leaves. It's just less hassle. Okay guys, that's where I'm going to call it a wrap on the day. It's 4:30. Wife and daughter just headed out for a gymkhana out at the fairgrounds, so it's just me and the wee man tonight. So go inside, relax, watch some TV, enjoy a beverage or two, and probably edit some YouTube videos. Catch you in the next one.